Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Simone and today I'm going to read for you Monster Math School Time by Grace Macarone. We are also talking about rhyming this week as one of our language arts lessons, and so hopefully you will be able to hear some rhymes in this book while learning about time. At 6 o'clock, monsters wake. So you have two clocks, one up here, and then the digital clock is over here. You guys know, what is this one called when it has the clock face like that? Hopefully you thought analog. Remember, when an hour hand is pointing, when you have an hour hand, it is shorter, and the minute hand is longer. And when it's o'clock, that means of the clock, that minute hand points to the 12. Okay, let's go over this one more time. At 6 o'clock, monsters wake. At 7 o'clock, they make a mistake. Oh, there's a mistake. If we look up here, we have the hour hand pointing to the 7 and the minute hand pointing to the 12. So they tell us in the book that it's 7, but is it 7 in the morning or is it 7 at night? When do you typically wake up and it looks like they're eating cereal? So hopefully you're thinking that this is about 7 a.m. in the morning. At 8 o'clock, they go to school. Then monsters learn a safety rule. This clock, we have the hour hand pointing to the 8 and the minute hand pointing to the 12, 8 o'clock. Now this is a little bit different. This is a little bit harder. That hour hand is still pointing to the 8, but the minute hand is now pointing to the 3. So it's 8:15. We'll talk about that maybe a little later, maybe next week. At 9 o'clock, monsters spell. At 10 o'clock, they show and tell. So hour hand pointing to the 9, minute hand pointing to the 12. Here's that digital clock. And the analog clock over here, we've got hour hand pointing to the 10 and the minute hand pointing to the 12. So they're gonna do some show and tell. I'm not sure I want to know what's in there. It looks kind of scary. At 11 o'clock, monsters read. Then each monster plants a seed. So you can tell that hour hand is pointing to the 11, minute hand to the 12. About 30 minutes later, at 11:30, the hour hand is in between the 11 and 12, and the minute hand is pointing to the 6, because when the minute hand points to the 6, that is 30 past, or half past. Now this is an interesting one. It has the hour hand and the minute hand pointing to the 12. Can you guess what time it is? You can even use some context clues here, some picture clues. Hopefully you said at 12 o'clock. At 12 o'clock, monsters eat. At 1 o'clock, they compete. So they're competing against each other. Got the hour hand pointing to the 1 and that minute hand pointing to the 12. At 2 o'clock, they subtract. Then monsters learn a science fact. So here it is, 2 o'clock, and they're doing, so we've got the hour hand pointing to the 2 and the minute hand pointing to the 12. Good. About 30 minutes later, that minute hand is pointing to the 6, so it's half past 2. Cute, they're learning about turtles. At 3 o'clock, monsters go. At 4 o'clock, they catch and throw. So hour hand pointing to the 3, minute hand pointing to the 12. Hour hand pointing to the 4, minute hand pointing to the 12. When the clock says o'clock, that minute hand is on the 12. At 5 o'clock, they paste and glue. Then monsters eat a yummy stew. 5 o'clock hour, minute hand is to the 12. And about half an hour or half past 5:30, they're eating their dinner. Maybe you eat dinner at about that time. At 6 o'clock, they take a bath. At 7 o'clock, they play monster math. So he's saying, I think there are 4 lollipops left in the bag. And he's saying, I want one. So you've got at 6 o'clock, that hour hand is pointing to the 6, and the minute hand is pointing to the 12. For 7 o'clock, the hour hand is pointing to the 7, and the minute hand is pointing to the 12. At 8 o'clock, they shut the light. Monsters are asleep. Good night. The end. And you can see here that that minute hand is pointing to the 8, and the hour hand is pointing to the 8, and the minute hand is pointing to the 12. Sorry about that. About what time of day is it? Yes, we know it's 8 o'clock. Is that 8 in the morning, or is that 8 at night? Hopefully you said 8 at night. And what lets you know that it's 8 at night? You're right. They're all sleeping. They are saying good night. All right, that's our story for today. I hope that you enjoyed it and have a wonderful time learning about time. Bye.